So the problems keep coming for Netflix. Subscribers are leaving. Their stock keeps dropping. It actually dropped to an all-new low. Yesterday, they jumped back up. You can see right here on the 14th, they went down to $476. And then on the 15th, they jumped up to $493. And then we move on to the 16th, goes back up to $500, drops down to $493, goes up to $494. And then as we cross into the 17th, which is today, they plummeted to $475. And it got worse. It keeps dropping. So right now it's at $473. It kind of spiked up a little and then it went back down. It's really interesting to watch this because they started to kind of come back and then they dropped again. And the really funny thing to watch is how the media just simps for this company, for this movie. It's really interesting to watch because I am now pretty convinced that most people from every angle of the political spectrum just about hates this movie. There's still quite a few people, if you know what I'm saying, that are very enthused by this movie. But for the most part, people do seem pretty united against it, and I'm really happy to see that. The only people, and this really shows you just how out of touch they all are, the only people that I see defending this now are blue check marks, celebrities, people attached to Hollywood, and journalists. Journalists are going all out to protect it. It's really, really humorous to watch. And the type of gymnastics that they run to try to simp for this movie, it's almost pathetic. They're using every single play that they've been using for the past 5 years. Ist, phobe, all of them. They're pulling them all out. It got even more interesting today when you see that they're finally going ahead and they're finally pushing it. You are now full-on ist. You're racist if you don't like cuties now. It was only a matter of time till they pulled this card out, and I knew it was coming. I was wondering when they were really going to start to push it. They kind of hinted at it recently. They were kind of starting to go there, and then they kind of pulled back a little bit, and now that's where they're going. So that'll be the next big push. If you don't like the movie, you're an ist. Well, no, you were already kind of an ist, but now you're a phobe. And I think that the director of the film is going to help push this pretty soon. They've already kind of started to utilize that angle and that card, and I expect it to grow because I really don't see the backlash for this movie drowning out anytime soon. I really don't see it going away anytime soon. People are furious about this. And I really do think, I agree with Tim Pool. Tim Pool did a video calling this film a gigantic red pill moment. And let's be serious. The way the media is handling this, they're saying everybody that's against this is conservative, or they're to the right, or they're to the far right, or they're is, or they're phobes. And the reason I think that this, well, yeah, it's pretty obvious. The reason that this movie was the fourth most watched movie in America is because of the controversy a little bit. But then that also explains why the backlash and so many people dipping out on Netflix, they've lost a lot of subscriptions. I think that has to do with the fact that people watched it and were disgusted. And a lot of people have watched this now, and when they see the media saying, well, if you don't like this movie, you're an istophobe, or, you know, you don't like women and all this stuff, people are going to be scratching their head and saying, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not like that at all. I just wonder how long can they keep this up? Because I've never seen them. Well, I have seen them lay on a hill like this before, but they're really doubling down on this one. So much so that you've got CNN now failing to ask questions. I kind of covered this a little bit before, but now other outlets are starting to talk about it. Cuties controversy, CNN's Brian Stelter failed to ask Netflix CEO Reed Hastings about scandal-plagued film. Stelter says the interview was taped days ago. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Man, You are one pathetic loser.
In fact, the entire interview was mostly about his book. His book. He was on there to sell the book. And this did a couple of things. For one, I'm sure a lot of people tuned into this on a show called Reliable Sources, by the way. You're right. A lot of people probably tuned in because they wanted to hear what he had to say. Even if this was taped days ago, the poster controversy was a few days before. That was still fresh in people's minds. So you still had people talking about the poster and the stuff surrounding the film. There was still stuff to talk about. You think he would have asked at least one question about it, even if it was taped days before. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was. He never asked one question about it. That's the first thing I think anybody would have asked, but they ignored it. Probably because Reed said, hey, we're not going to talk about this at all. And Brian said, yes, sir. And that was it. So that's what you get from reliable sources. CNN is really bad. And I'll be fair and I'll say Fox News is, they've got their problems too, but CNN is on a whole nother level when it comes to wild trash for real. And by the way, the hashtag cancel Netflix is still moving quite a bit. It should honestly still be trending, and it's not for a few reasons because, well, it's being blacklisted and suppressed. People are still using it. You have to actually go search it. You have to go search it to find it. But if you do, you will find plenty of people still talking about it, still tweeting it, still putting it out there as much as they want to try to cancel this. And, you know, I see people from all sides of the political spectrum here, like I was saying, and I like that. I like that people can come together to get rid of some pure degeneracy, because that's what that movie is. As much as these blue check marks and these celebrities like Tessa Thompson want to sit out there and say this movie is wholesome family entertainment, that's a lie. And people aren't buying this shit. People aren't believing it. People aren't going for it. And that's why the stocks are still crashing. That's why they're still losing subscribers on the daily. And it's going to hurt them. This movie wasn't worth it. And obviously, this says it's more about the message than the money, because they're losing. I'm starting to think I really am starting to think that 9 billion estimate is true. And it's probably more. Look at that. It just dropped again as we're sitting here talking. I don't know what it's going to look like. It's still earlier in the day. This could rebound and go back up. But it's funny how it keeps going up and crashing over and over again, because people just don't care about this. And people do care about this, and they're going to keep losing money. But hey, it's not about the money. That's obvious. They don't care about the money. What they care about is the message. And this message is something that they've been wanting to push for a long time. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about all of this. How do you feel about all this? What do you how low do you think Netflix stock can go? How much money do you think they're going to lose in the long run? How much longer do you think people will be upset about it? When do you think this will kind of die out? Because people still seem pretty damn interested in it to me. So let me know. Like and share the video if you really want to help me out. Sharing the video would help a lot. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.